Okay, so let's get into a low time frame example, and we're going to be looking at Ethereum versus the US dollar on a 4-hour chart. And we're going to be doing the same things we just did with the monthly and weekly and dropping to a daily. We're going to mark out our key levels on a 4-hour, where we think the support and resistance levels are around swing points. We'll be using the replay tool, so let's get right to it. Okay, so let's actually kind of make this a little bigger to see what some past levels are and what we're looking at. We're going to focus in on this area here. So right off the bat, I see this as a breakdown. This was also support. Price is going above it, comes back down. Here we have the resistance as acts support, and it's a springboard to a very nice uptrend. So right there, based on the past, and also this kind of range consolidation area, key breakdown, very key point in price. So I'm marking that off, and I'm going to be calling this a 4-hour SR, right? Here is a support zone, which was a pivotal point as we broke down out of it. And we can see that we retested it right here. So another one. Let's take that, copy and paste it. Right there. And we can see here, price was support, consolidation, breakdown. So let's mark that off. And let's look at these areas. Also this one here too, we see that price kind of, here we have a low, a lower low, a lower low, but we made an impulse back up here. So let's mark this. It's kind of we're retesting it here. We're not really sure what's going to happen. And let's mark that off. And I'm pretty happy with these 4-hour levels. Right, so this is going to be more a lower time frame trading strategy approach. This could be day trading, this could be scalping, and we're going to watch this on a 15-minute to see, what's the candle structure doing? Are the buyers stepping in? Are the sellers stepping in? So let's play some price and see what happens. So our 4-hour SR is acting as resistance. And let's focus right here, okay? So we marked this off as a SR. Here was support. We have a breakdown, it acted as resistance, possibly a short setup here. Let's dial in on the 15-minute. Oh, remember what we got. Low time frame, visibility, and we're gonna see these on the minutes, right? This is key to really dialing in, are the levels accurate? And are these marked on minutes? Yes, they are. Okay, so let's get back to our 15-minute chart. Let's see what's going on here. Here was our support. Here is basically our breakdown point from that support, right? We can see that we have support, we dip below it, we've now made a swing high, we broke down, and look at this. Here we're retesting a support has become resistance. Potential short entry, selling out of a long position. This is an area we have identified, it's key. Here we're coming down, we're making new support. Looks like we're coming to retest this zone again, but again, it's a lower high. As we're moving forward, we're approaching this SR level, which we marked on a 4-hour. And look at this. Here, we're breaking above it, coming up. And what are we doing? we're retesting a resistance zone that is now future support. Great potential long entry, scalping. Let's see what this move would have been, right? This is all shorter time frame stuff, guys. Hey, 6% move on an SR flip, buying a first test of a support zone. Not too bad. Here we can see we dip below it. But what is this? We're coming back above it here, and we have very nice bullish market structure. Let's go back to our 4-hour. Look how this level, look how pivotal this level is. So now we're coming back into what? Oh, a breakdown SR. Our consolidation zone, our swing high, price is breaking down. Let's see what price does into it. Resistance is acting as it should. And again, these are not lines in the sand. These are not perfect. We can start to add, kind of zones here. And we're going to get into that as we spoke about DBS zones, right? This area is where demand buyers support. This is a SSR, right? We have a breakdown, resistance, supply, seller resistance. Now, we can see here, we've established a swing high. What are we doing as price comes back into it? Well, it looks like it's acting as resistance. Let's drop on a 15-minute to see what kind of clues we could get around that. Wow, we look at this. Not a bad wick up. Let's see some other areas. We can see these wicks. These wicks here, the sellers are stepping in. This is a clear supply zone. And this is kind of like the turning point right here, right? We're looking at a 15-minute candle. So, point of breakdown, another point of breakdown. We have our highs here, making a lower high, short entry, selling out of long positions. And here we have a clear SR flip. Our support is now going to become resistance, as this is an SR breakdown. So let's play it. Another breakdown. Let's move back to our 4-hour. It's going to be quicker as we look at it. Let's see what our levels are doing. Is price going to come back into our SR level? Let's see. Here, look at this. Look at that. We had a range high, we broke above it, we retested it. We tested an SR, we failed. Didn't make above it here. We're retesting support. And let's look at this candle. So here's your 4-hour candle. Long lower wick, buyer's very present. Let's see what it looked like on a 15-minute chart. I'd say the sellers ran out of steam there. So now we have established a swing low. So whether or not you took a long here or you waited for a higher low, but we're kind of consolidating right here, but this is giving us an area to gauge as we look at our trading setups going forward for where I'm going to get into my, basically my LTE. Zoran's going to go over that level trigger entry. And where am I going to put my stop loss? What is a stop loss? You should get excited as we get into these later sections and you start to grasp looking at market structure analysis, time frame analysis, marking out the higher time frames, dialing in our lower time frames like this. So let's see what the 15 minutes is going to show us. Kind of ranging here. We're going to be looking to challenge kind of this point of breakdown or hold these lows. And you can see that this is establishing kind of a range here, right? We're in a consolidation phase. Is this going to lead to expansion or contraction? In this case, continuation of the bearish market structure that we have just seen. And the best way to get really good at this stuff is watch charts, watch price action. You're going to start to pick up on clues and patterns, and you're going to train your eye on what is it that you really are looking for. And let's speed this up on the 4 hour. Again, guys, I don't know what's going to happen, so this is, real-time stuff. We can see here that we have our lows. We have a swing low. This impulse candle's down, not looking too hot, but let's see what happens. Ooh, we're bouncing off another 4 hour SR. I mean, does it get any cleaner? But what do we know about support and resistance? Well, we know it's finite, and there's a lot of tests of support here. How many buyers are at a demand level? They're not infinite. So let's see what happens. We're kind of ranging here, which is this nice 4 hour SR buyer support. Sellers right here. I mean, here we are testing another key 4 hour SR. Let's go to our 15-minute. Again, potential short entry, right? What do we do at resistance in a supply zone? Well, we want to be sellers. And look at that. And we can see prices going down. And what happened at our support level? Well, what do we want to be in a demand zone at support? We want to be buyers. And we can see that this SR was respected. So let's go back to our 4 hour. Let's close that out. And let's look at what we just witnessed. We marked out some key points on a 4 hour chart, looking at support and resistance zones around swing points, swing lows. We have established our areas of importance where we think the sellers are and the buyers are. And we dropped our time frame to a 15-minute, and we really got into the detail of the candle structure and swing points around the buyers interacting with these 4 hour levels on a lower time frame. So by dropping to a 15-minute chart after marking out our 4 hour levels, we could start to identify potential exits and entries on lower time frame trading strategies such as scalping or day trading. We're going to leave it there for now, but I hope that's a good view on how we're looking at time frame analysis and how we utilize it going forward. So let's do a recap and go over everything we just went over in time frame analysis. Well, we learned that we want to start with our high time frame macro levels. This is going to help us identify where the buyers and sellers are around key swing points and support and resistance levels. We know that the macro levels are going to have more weight than the lower term micro levels. By identifying our macro levels, we can then drop our time frame to identify other swing points and SR levels. And this is going to help us dial in our trade setups as we look at things like entries and exits, and things such as LTE, level trigger entry, which is going to be a concept that Zorn is going to go into next. But the real takeaway is, let's pick a strategy based on the proper time frame. And the proper time frame in the sense of what kind of trader do you want to be? And if I'm looking at lower time frame scalping strategies and day trading, I'm going to be using a lower time frame, such as the 4 hour, and dropping to a 15-minute. But if I want to be a more longer term trader and looking at macro levels around position trades and swing trades, I'm going to be focusing on those higher time frames like monthly, weekly, and daily. So I hope that's a good overview and recap of time frame analysis. And let's move on to the next section.